Hello and welcome to day number 166 of my vinyl collection, going through an album a day for you guys to share some really cool music with you that I adore. Some I don't know, some I'm only getting to know. So it's quite an interesting variety, but today is kind of special because not only do I have 4 copies of this album, which will make sense, but also this is the album that I'm starting on my podcast, Deep Purple Smoke on the Podcast, starting today. Deep Purple Machine Head. Really big album, guys. This is one of the ones that the band is most known for, this interesting sort of blurred, distorted image of the band. Of course, it is part of my Purple Records collection. It was actually the first studio album that came out on the Purple Records label, and I have that copy right here, which is fantastic. The album cover is really interesting. These are really flimsy. And I don't know if, being a new record company, they were trying to save money or what's going on, but I mean, it's like wet paper. However, let me show you the back. The blurred Rickenbacker bass guitar, and love that, just metal press look here. On the inside, though, we do have this beautiful, and my original copy did not come with these. I don't know if this was just from Purple Records. Every record company releases it their own way, but this wonderful folding lyric sheet in a very large font, very easily readable. I like the script of it too. That's actually really nice. But yeah, that's really cool. And in really good condition too. The inside, a crazy amount of pictures of the band and the events and all of that. You get Claude Knobs, who is Funky Claude in Smoke on the Water. Lots of cool stuff. I think it was just a generic sleeve. I know I say that every time, and then I'm like, oh my God, it wasn't. Just a generic sleeve. However, this copy, not in the greatest condition. I do think it suffered a little bit of water damage. Also, we've got, a crease here, a lot of shelf wear, but most importantly, where the album goes, that's all separated. So very unfortunate, but the lyric sheet is in really good condition. One fold here that's kind of unfortunate, but the most important part, as always, is that the record plays very well. I will go over the tracks, but I'm not going to talk about how I feel about them because I'm just doing that in the season of the show. So that's certainly something that you can enjoy there. But of course, we open with, the classic Highway Star, such a killer track. It's one that, one of the only songs I enjoyed singing at karaoke on a night that I could actually sing it well. Oh, that was a 1972 copy, by the way, which is the year that the album came out. I do have a second copy on Purple Records. Again, album plays very well. Again, flimsy sort of cover. This one's in somewhat better shape, does not have the lyric sheet, didn't even come with a slip cover, and a lot of shelfware on this, but the seam is not split, so that's nice at least. Inside's kind of dirty, but the record's in good shape. Again, obviously the most important thing. So anyway, Highway Star, killer opener. Then we go to Maybe I'm a Leo, Pictures of Home, and Never Before closes out side 1. Then side 2, we start with one of their most famous songs, although, was it John Lord or Roger Glover? I can't remember now, said that while Smoke on the Water might be their most famous song, it has actually not been the most financially profitable song, which is interesting. And I'm thinking Child in Time was licensed for Twister. I'm sure some other stuff. Highway Star might be in there, maybe Perfect Strangers. It's hard to say for sure. Probably something in music licensing, though, would be my guess. Anyway, so Smoke on the Water is the opener for side 2. Then we go to Lazy, and then Space Truckin'. That one, I will tell you, is one of my top Deep Purple tracks. Absolutely love that one. And of course, again, Purple Records, can't go wrong with that. And both of these copies are 1972 original issues, which is really cool. Wish the covers were in a little bit better shape, but obviously, as I always say, the vinyl's the most important. If I were collecting records for resale value, it would be different. I would be going after different, versions of the albums than I've purchased. So there's that to consider. The third copy, as I did with Deep Purple and Rock and Fireball, and I think the Concerto too, got the green and white label copies as well. This one is the green label. This is also from 1972. All these, the two purple records are German pressings. This was a U.S. pressing, and I don't think, I'm trying to remember if it has a lyric sheet in it or not. This one's got a split seam as well. The album's from 1972. It's going to be hard to find something in impeccable condition unless it's a reissue. So yeah, again, no lyric sheet, no slip cover. And then the final version that I have here is the white label, or the regular Warner Brothers Terre Haute pressing. This one is from 1974. And again, a little bit of shelf wear, but not too bad. This one seems to be a little bit thicker of a cover here, which is nice. And I don't know if it's stuck on something. What's going on here? Oh, that's it. It's a little bit, there's some sticker residue on there. So this one also seems to have suffered some kind of water damage. I don't know why people were keeping Machine Head around liquid. It just seems a weird thing, but it's definitely got the bend here, and there's a bend on the back as well. I'm not flipping it off. So again, cover not, so that's 4 copies with covers that are not in great condition. But this also does have a version of the lyrics a little bit different. Obviously also has gotten wet at some point, so I don't know if this was like maybe a basement flood or some water damage or whatever, who knows. But I do like these lyric sheets. I think they're pretty cool. So that is my Machine Head collection. Check it out, guys. Smoke on the Podcast, available to stream from my website directly, or it should be available on your podcast player. It might just show up as Smoke on the Podcast. I didn't realize the Deep Purple part wasn't there, so I've recently changed the RSS feed, but it doesn't seem to have caught up with everything yet. So it should be Deep Purple, Smoke on the Podcast. And like I said, if you go to my website, www.scotthaskin.com, I guess it's kind of irrelevant to say the WWs now, isn't it? But it did, so there. You can go to my podcast page there, and that has links to all of my podcasts, including my podcast that I did with my buddy Corey Morissette, Aerosmith Backtracks Revisited, and the episodes that I was on there before we ended that show. And then there is the Haskincast podcast, Uriah Heep the Magician's podcast, and of course, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Podcast. Every season is a different album, and every album has its own page and player for each song. So it's as specific as I can make it for whatever you might want to listen to at any given time. If you're like, I really want to hear the Fireball episode again, then you can go right back to that and just listen to that. So anyway, enjoy, guys. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.